Hi guys, I'm doing a test stream, so I figured I would do it live. Really, I was trying to get the chat up on screen, standard, and it's not working. It's the bane of my existence. We got it. It's just constantly annoying me that I can never get the stream. Is it this one? There you go. There we go. We can see everybody, and then I can change. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's working. So I've been setting up a stream setup at home because I wanted to do it a little bit more frequently. The first thing I'm going to ask is if everyone can hear me properly. Um, if you can, then good. Let me just get another setup on my phone here so that I can see exactly what everybody's saying. But yeah, I just wanted to get just wanted to get it set up at home basically, so that I could do it a little bit more often, because doing it at the studio is fun, but it's also a mission. Because when we did a live stream with the band, that was really good, but also took a long time to set up. So I wanted to try and get something going at home, which is a bit more casual. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. So I'm glad you can all hear me. Voice sounds good. And then we've got guitar. How's the guitar sound? Noise gate on the it's probably because I've done it like that. There you go. Is that a little bit better? Hopefully. That's the purpose of this, is to set it up with you guys involved so that I can get it right from the get-go, so that I can do it a little bit more often, because it's fun, basically. So I'm just chilling at home. I've got my little home setup here. This is where I usually, I've got a quad cortex, I have my laptop, pair of monitors, and I just generally jam out here at home when I have time to practice guitar and just vibe out a little bit. So that's what this room is in my house. And as you can see behind me, I've got my geek shelf. I've got all my Elden Ring memorabilia. I've also got a bunch of art books as well from Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. My figurines. Because, you know, I'm a geek. I love video games. I would love to stream games at some point. I think that'd be really fun. But yeah. In terms of how I'm rigging everything up here, I've got my microphone going into Quad Cortex, and as you can see on Cortex Control there, the bottom lane is dedicated to my microphone. So if I do this, you can see I'm just using the Corey 1 amp, because if you didn't know, it's modeling a channel strip. So it's really cool because it's got compression, EQ, you know, tube saturation, all that kind of stuff. So I'm literally just running that through Quad Cortex on its own lane. And then above, I can go ahead and create any preset. So the preset that I've got set up here is basically just dual Kraken rig with the IRs. See if I can move this out of the way. Sorry, guys. So as you can see there, just got a compressor, 2 amps. So dual Kraken, IR loader, bit of EQ to just pull a little bit of the flub out, and then onto lane 3, which is just delay and reverb. Also, a little caveat here, my strings are so old. I was going to restring before this, and I was like, you know what? The purpose of this is to hang out with everybody, chat a little bit, play a little bit guitar, and yeah. I'm going to restring it another time. And also, there's 9s on this guitar, but I snapped the 9, so I put a 10 on, so it feels really weird. Excuse me. So yeah, I kind of prioritized the stream basically. So that's what's going on here. One other cool thing that I've got set up is that within OBS, which is the streaming software that I use, I can actually run you know, tunes out of like Spotify and all the rest of it. So check this out. I got a drone set up so that I can play along. I love drones, if you didn't know already, because you can just mess around and practice different harmony and stuff, different melody. Because this is in, I think this guitar's in E flat. I don't actually know what's going on with the drone. Is that it? No, man. No, I want more. 3 minutes is not enough. Ooh. There you go. Sorry. Yeah, it's in, I think this is in C sharp. So you can just literally just mess around and create as many different moods as you want and practice. Nice and glorious, or you can make it a little bit more uneasy. Stuff. You really kind of do a bit of everything, but I find it really, really fun for the purpose of just loosening up and getting into that melodic headspace. So that's cool. So we're going to do a bit of stuff like that with the different live streams in the future. We can jam out and mess around with different things. I also got it set up so that I can do a screen grab of Cortex Control. We can build some presets. And also, you know, if we want to check out stuff on the tube, on the internet, we can do that and you'll be able to see that and stuff. And yeah, basically, I just wanted to get it in such a smooth, you know, setup so that we can kind of do whatever. Just want to hang out, do a bit more streaming because it's fun connecting with people directly. And because I've been so busy recently with the band and everything else, it's been really hard to keep on top of YouTube content and that classic thing of like, I just don't know what I feel like making on YouTube content-wise, you know. So that's basically the purpose of doing streams too, is to just keep engaged with everybody because it's an awesome community here. Play What Lies Beneath by Andy. I can't play anything by Andy James. He's way too good. I'm not that good. What was I going to say? Someone asked me how vower's going. Very well. I've been mixing a ton of new vower material for something exciting. We're on tour in November, so that's really exciting. We're going out across Europe and the UK, places like Germany, Paris, some places in the Netherlands, and then we're hitting the major cities here. So we've got you know, Manchester, I think it was Birmingham, Glasgow, London. There's a handful of wicked gigs, and it's going to be really fun. A bunch of new material to play, and it'll be our second headline run. But this time we're trying to step it up a bit in terms of venue size, and basically just try and just keep leveling this thing up. It's a lot of work, self-managed, no label yet, so it's a lot of work, but not complaining. It's just making sure that we all stay on top of all the things that need doing to run the band. So yeah, it's fun, and I'm really happy to be in that situation again. So yeah, we're on tour. If you didn't know and you want to come see us, we're actually doing we're calling it an exclusive access tour pass, which is limited to 10 spots at each show, where you'll be able to come and hang out with us and sound check. And hang out with us and sound check, you get like a bunch of merch and stuff like that. You get access to the merch table early and stuff. And we're actually giving away a bunch of awesome prizes. We're giving away 3 Neural DSP plugins, so you can choose whatever you want from the Neural DSP catalog. We're giving away a license for GGD Modern and Massive 2. And then Ernie Ball have given us a bunch of strings and straps and cables and picks and loads of cool stuff to give to people who get these tour passes. As I say, there are only 10 spots, but everyone's going to have an opportunity to come away with something awesome, because figured rather than it just being like turn up to sound check and hang out for a bit, do a group photo and stuff. And I think they're like sign posters and all that kind of stuff, like the classic, band access pass thing. But on top of that, we figured it would be a really good way to, give people stuff, basically, because from my last 10, 12 years working with YouTube and different brands, like I have a great relationship with these brands and they want to support the band. And I figured the best way of doing that was to say, like, if you've got anything you'd be happy to donate to the tour for people to have, then that would be greatly appreciated. And they were all, all the different brands were like, yeah, 100%. So as I say, you can get a free plugin, free Modern Massive, free Ernie Ball stuff. So that's really cool. As I say, there are only 10 spaces and London has sold out its spaces, but you'll be able to find those additional tickets online. So let's have a little look on the old QC control. I got a Vemuram here, a bit more gain. These strings are manky. I can't even tell you. It's really bad. Let's chat to you guys. There's loads of stuff coming in here. Is this Cortex software on screen? Yeah. So what you're looking at there is Cortex Control. I got it hooked up so that you can look and see the preset. And on future streams we can build a preset. We can try and make sounds that sound like different artists and stuff. I thought that'd be fun. So that you can just see the workflow. I figured that was fun. I've also done it so that I can use my plugin as well on a different stream. I have to change the audio a little bit for a different stream, but it's set up in such a way that we can do that. I'm going to Guitar Summit as well, in case some of you are going. I think I'm doing I guess you'd call it, I think it's a masterclass that I'm going to be doing, and also like a gig in the auditorium thing, or whatever, like a workshop. With Neural and with Klotz. And then the masterclass, we were talking about what we'd be covering, and I figured it would be cool to cover, like writing, riffs, developing ideas. I'm going to bring my laptop and an interface. We've got some monitors set up so that I can take you through like a a session on how I'm layering stuff, different, layers, different production elements, and things that build out the song rather than it just being a collection of riffs and drums or whatever. So that's going to be fun if you're coming to the Guitar Summit. So yeah. The one thing I do need to do is get it so that I can see the chat clearly. I think I need a bigger screen because otherwise I feel like I'm a bit rude just like looking at my phone. But these are where all the chat is popped up on screen here. Sterling guitars. Someone asked the Sterling Music Man versions, the Sterling by Sterling by Music Man version of this guitar is coming in October. So I shot all the promo stuff and photos and stuff for Sterling by Music Man so that they can put it on the website. Basically, they need it in advance, so they're building it up, and there was a bit of a backlog for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but basically they told me it was going to be October when they'll be available. So I couldn't tell you what date in October. I think it's the first half of October. They will be available. I'm very excited for them to come out because perfectly aware that these are, expensive. So it's really nice to be able to get the Sterling version, which is going to be, in a lot of ways, the same. It's just made in the Far East as opposed to in the US. And obviously the materials are different and all the rest of it. But they really did bring over everything possible to the Sterling version from the Music Man version. That was a big point that I wanted to stress to them. And they've done a fantastic job. So they will be available. And they're, as far as guitars are concerned these days, quite affordable. I think it's going to be around $8.99, I think it is, I believe, or somewhere around that figure. I don't know how it changes different territories, different currencies, but yeah, that's really exciting. And I'm really chuffed with how the pickups sound as well. I think they did a great job of mimicking the sound of the bare knuckles. So yeah, let's see what else we got. Guan in. Thank you very much for pointing out the weight loss. I've been on a mission since February. I saw some footage of me at the NAMM show and was like, bruh, need to sort that out. I'm not looking good. I put weight on really easily if I'm not keeping on top of my health and my diet. I'm sure a lot of people have that same problem, but it was something that was bothering me, especially like, looking at videos. I'm a big guy anyway, and guitars look like toys. And then when you put weight on, they look even smaller, like a ukulele. Not a vibe that I was up for adopting. So figured I needed to fix that pretty fast. So yeah, I spoke to Doug Castro, who is the CEO of Neural, very close friend that I've known for many years. And obviously, if any of you follow him on Instagram, you'll see that the guy is absolutely jacked. He's an awesome friend, and he's really, really good giving advice for working out. So he wrote me a program that I've been following religiously since February. And it's been great. It's a strength training program, weightlifting, all that kind of stuff. Been eating properly. I've dropped like nearly 30 kilograms in weight, which I don't know what that is in pounds. Someone will be in chat can hopefully tell you guys. And I've been building up my strength. So I'm like deadlifting like 200 kg now, doing 3 sets of 8 for all those interested. That's very heavy. It's going great. I'm feeling great. And I'm in probably close to the best shape that I've been in. There's still a long way to go, but it's great. And I would advise anyone, if you're feeling like you need to get up and crack on with it, to give it your best shot, because it does feel good when you start getting into the habit of it. Pickups in the Sterling version of the guitar are Sterling pickups, but we had a back and forth with them a bunch because I wanted to make sure that they captured the essence of these bare knuckle silos. In the bridge, obviously, nice and thick, throaty, and good sustain. And they want to feel there's a sweet top end, nothing too shrill. But then on top of that, the blending options are good. But when you go to the neck, it wants to be a bit spanky. And of course, that when you back off the gain a bit, you can have like they want it to be vocal. Same thing when you split them down. Anyway, the point being is that we managed to get them to do that. It took a few versions of the pickups, and now they're sounding great, and I'm really, really happy. The blending options sound really good. So I'm very excited for you guys to plug them in and hear them. And I'm hoping that I was chatting with Sterling as well about getting some guitars out to different people so that they could, check them out, because I think that's really important. Like I mentioned Philip McKnight, so I'm hoping we can get a guitar to him. And the reason being is I want people to discover them and check the quality and help you guys from an unbiased standpoint. And I know Philip McKnight's really good for that. Like he just goes through every single possible detail of the guitar and gives you a great rundown of it. So I did mention that to Sterling, and hopefully that's going to happen. I'm not sure if they've spoke to Philip or Phil. I don't know how he likes to be referred to. I've asked them to reach out and send him a guitar. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully they will. We'll see what happens there. But I think it would be a good thing to have somebody that knows their stuff and is unbiased to go through the guitar and check it so that people can go and get a good rundown of that before they pick it up if they're thinking about picking one up. So, yes. Do we know when your archetype is coming to QC? I don't know. To be honest, it's not something that I don't think it's far off, to be honest. As you've seen, the latest updates come with the Nolly and the Parallax and I'm not sure what was on the last update, basically, but I think mine is hopefully in the next lot, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's have a look. We got a bunch of questions here. I'll give one a go. Thanks, man. Do you high and low pass your IRs? No, I haven't done anything. So the only thing I've done, let me open up control here. So I'm looking at OBS. Yeah. So the only thing I did was I pulled down a bit of 250, as you can see. Tell you what I'll do for a sec. I'll get rid of chat here just for one moment. Whoops. Bye. What have I done? There we go. Just for a sec. So yeah, you can see I've rolled off a bit of 250, but the impulse responses are just standard. And these are 2 impulse responses from my plugin. Before we did the X update, I had Nolly do the IRs. So he sent through 2 for me to test. So that's this 57 and the Royer in one position. Obviously, it's not, I can't move it around, but I use this almost exclusively for all my presets. And in Vower, this is what we use. Both me and Joe use the same one. But yeah, so I'm running 2 amps. I've got my Victory Kraken and my Victory Kraken. One's in EL34 configuration, one's in 6L6, which I've always done. I've always blended them. And cool fact, if you didn't know, that these models are my personal prototype Krakens from back in 2015. Sent them out to Finland. That's the same amps that we modified inside the plugin as well. So these are actually my personal ones, which is sick. I love that little Easter egg. EQ, and then just running analog delay and a lush plate. Got a compressor in the front, the Optocomp, and the Vemuram. That is it. That's what this tone is. Sounds great. Oh, we got a tuner. I always forget there's a tuner down there. That's one of the things I love most about this amp. It's so good for... One of my testers is these kind of chords. It's not a chord, it's a dyad. Now it's a chord. The way it sounds has that like purr, not a gent purr. And then when you dig in, it's nice. Love it. Anyway, more questions. Still skate. I actually went out for a skate last week and it was great. And I was saying, let me pull chat back up as well. We'll move on to a different, actually I'll take it off there. We'll do like this. I went for a skate and I was kind of worried because it had been like nearly a year and a half actually since I skated again, coming back after ACL surgery. Had ACL surgery, 9 months recovery and rehab, tried to skate, didn't feel good, so I stopped. And 18 months down the line, or nearly 2 years since then, and I've been working out for the last year now in the gym. So I got back to the skate park and I was like, oh, I don't know how this is going to go. But what was really cool is obviously I'm doing legs and I'm doing whole body exercises and I'm feeling really strong and I've lost weight and it was crazy. After about 30 minutes, all the tricks came back. I was flying over, like the fun box and hip and stuff and just having a great time landing stuff, feeling awesome. One of my friends who I was skating with, who I haven't hung out with at the skate park for a long time, he was almost like, the hell, man, like you haven't been around for ages, you haven't skated for ages and you're just landing everything like you never stopped. So that felt good. So I was really happy about that. And if in case anyone's wondering, I wear wrist guards. You should definitely wear wrist guards if you skate and you're you're a guitarist or a drummer or a musician, or you need your hands basically. So that was awesome. And so I think I'm going to try and do it a little more casually. The reason I snapped my ACL was because I was pushing myself too hard. I was like, why? I'm not trying to be a pro skater, so what's the point in yeeting it all the time and hurting yourself? So now I just want to just cruise about the park and have a good laugh. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Do you use an iMac? I'm currently running my MacBook here at home. I have a Mac Mini at the studio, which I use for mixing. And I take my MacBook in to track stuff downstairs. And that's basically what I do. I track everything downstairs with my laptop. And then I go upstairs and use the Mac Mini for mixing. So yeah. Smart with the wrist guards. Yes. Sensible, smart, all those words. So yeah, what else we got going on? We've got 223 people. I'm aware as well that this is kind of a random time of the day to be streaming. But like I said, this is more of a test stream to check that it all works and that I could hang out with you guys and whatever. So that's what I'm doing here. These strings, I keep saying it, but they feel so gross. I mean, listen to this. It's so dead. Input level settings, someone asked. We're just running into the quad cortex, so whatever the guitar is. What you're hearing is the XLR out into my interface. I'm not using the quad cortex as a interface right now. I'm using it just XLR out into my Universal Audio Arrow. And then the microphone's running through the quad cortex as well. Then OBS is just capturing the bloody Universal Audio thing. That's what you're hearing. So Someone said they'd learned the prayer monger outro recently, which is cool. Still one of my favorite things that I ever wrote. It's just so sad. Sounds so sad. Still have my Mayonnaise guitars, I do. See, I've got a gate on, and it's kind of annoying me, because when you're playing softer like that, it gets in the way. Tell you what we'll do: we'll bump up a little bit of. Do that. Yeah. Add a little bit more depth on the mod. Do a bit of that. Oh, that might be a bit much. These strings are dead, man. I'll restring this guitar for the next time. I'm also going to bring back maybe a baritone. Anyway, sorry, I got lost in the. Whoops, I hearted myself. Got lost in the jam there. What do your compressor settings look like? I don't know. Let's see. Just kind of yeet it and see what happens. So huge threshold, just under half a mix in there. Ratios up quite high. Fast attack, slow release. Makeup gain as default. So yeah, it's kind of compressing a lot, but the mix is down, so it works nicely. So yeah. Let's see what we've got. you guys ever finish that Tosca song you did in the studio? I get asked this every single time. We did finish it, but we were not going to release it because it came at a time when the band sort of fell apart, and a couple of the guys, well, I say couple, there's only three of us, but a few, we had a conversation about it, and we just decided it was better to leave it and not put it out because it kind of represented a bit of a dark time for the band. Obviously, we broke up and all the rest of it. Why Carnival Blue Balling is so hard? Yeah, I know. I just want to hear it. I saw my Arctangent and they did a couple new tunes that were insane. So that's exciting. So I got to hear them. And I've been trolling YouTube for the past 10 years, searching for live footage of new songs. And I actually knew a bunch of them. They've changed a bit in structure or whatever, but I knew some of the new tunes because I'm that much of a fanboy. I love vower, but who's with me that they need to let Rabea rip some more solos? We do. It's not the kind of music for solos. I mean, there are places where there's lead guitar in there, and we might write some stuff that that has a bit more of that in it. But ultimately, I feel like I don't know. It verges on the edge of cheesy for me, putting solos in that kind of stuff. I mean, some bands get away with it, and I think in the future we'll consider it a bit more. But both Joe and I feel the same way about that. It just depends. What's a record that you've recently discovered that you like a lot? To be honest, I've been on a kick with like electronica music recently. Lots of stuff like that. The new Biffy album is cool. We were listening to some of that the other night. I thought that was good. To be honest, a lot of new music. I was with Josh the other night. We were recording some vocals and we came home and we were chilling and we were searching YouTube for new music, new bands and stuff. And a lot of it for me right now is just not doing it for me. I feel like a lot of it's just a bit samey and boring. That's not to say, I'm not saying that our music is like not boring or anything. This is no reflection on my own stuff and my own output or anything like that. But I'm just desperate to hear something where I'm like, this is cool, this is unique, this is adding something a bit different. But too many bands nowadays, like when Gent dropped, there were loads of bands doing Gent. And now I feel like that's evolved into like glitchy guitar sounds. And I hear a ton of bands that just have glitchy guitar sounds. And it's cool, it's heavy, and it scratches an itch if you want heavy stuff. But equally, there's just too many glitchy guitar sounds now. And I kind of feel like these crazes that get really popular, and I understand why, but it kind of just bums me out a bit sometimes where I'm just like, I just want to hear a band that feels a bit more unique and a bit more like doing their own thing, get that recognition and get out there and do something cool. And if it's not, that sort of approach, then I don't know. Like then it's like bands that are introducing a lot of like like hip hop, not hip hop, I suppose, like R&B or like trap beats or something into their music. And yeah, it's fine. But when loads of bands do it, it just, you know what I mean? You get a bit fed up of that. I just want to hear, if you're going to use all those influences, do it like, let each song have its own personality and its own like identity. On an album, you have a collection of different moods and vibes rather than it just being just a bunch of the same kind of vibe all the way through. It just gets a bit old fast, And you don't want it to be time stamped so hard that like you put the album on in 10 years and go, oh, that sounds so 2025. Do you know what I mean? You want to write timeless, record timeless music and write timeless songs and mix timeless music, And I know I'm biased towards Carnival, but like you could put Sound Awake came out in 2009 and it still sounds amazing today. It still sounds like it's captured that thing. It feels timeless to me, as well as many other bands. Don't get me wrong. I just always refer to Carnival because like they do it right, in my opinion. So yeah. Anyway, I went off on a bit of a rant there. I think this test stream's going quite well, guys. You know, the other thing is that I've got it set up so that if there's stuff that you guys are recommending, we can check it out together. I can go onto YouTube and watch something and see what it's all about. What else we got? When recording with the quad cortex, do you record the rhythm guitars in mono? Yeah, I just double track everything, even if it's a stereo sort of signal. it's blended either side, if you know what I mean. Don't worry, Rabea, I'm recording a banger post-rock album. Just another guitar channel. Nice one, dude. Well, yeah, there you go. Do it. Go for it. Put it out there. Be proud of it, and let it be its own thing. That's great. I think you should. Drones was Insane Live. Yes, it was. Giant Walker are great. Yes, they are. They're coming out with us on support. My sound engineer is good friends with them, James, and he does their sound as well. So it was kind of a happy thing. They're also, because another thing that we're doing on this tour, taking a slight risk, is we've got a bus. We're on a tour bus, which is really expensive, but we all got ill on the last tour and had to cancel half the dates, postpone half the dates because everyone got sick. We were cooped up in a van in winter, and it just once one person got ill, everyone got ill. And the cool thing with the bus is if someone's feeling a little bit flat, they can go and hide in their bunk. So we're doing that, and we've taken a bit of a financial risk on it. So we're hoping that the tickets sell for this show, for this tour even, and that we can sell these tour access passes, and we do all right on merch and all the classic band stuff that allows us to at least not come out in debt from this tour. But we'll see what happens. I'm really hoping that we can pull it off. Tour's not till November, so we've got a bit of time. But we've stepped up the venue sizes, hoping that it's going to work. There's new music coming as well, so people can explore new music before the tour kicks off. But yeah, if you want to come and see us, please do. I would love to say hi to some of you guys. As I mentioned, there are tour access passes where you can come and hang out and sound check and all the rest of it. And we've got free plugins and free GGD, free neural stuff, free Ernie Ball stuff. So if you want to grab any of that, then you can. But also it's an opportunity to hang out, chat to people, show. We're going to go through our rigs so people can see how we, set up our live tones using real amps and quad cortex and the in-ear rig and, all that sort of stuff. So it's more than just, sitting there while we sound check. But yeah, I think there are links in the description of this stream to tickets and stuff. So we'll see. How else can we support vower if we can't make the shows? That's very, very, very kind of you to say. That's such a lovely question. I guess, buy some merch, stream the music. We've got it on Bandcamp, I think, as well. So you can actually pay what you want, I think, to download the music. All that kind of stuff really helps. Yeah, I think that's probably as simple as it gets. We're working on trying to get distribution internationally for merch because I know that postage can sting a lot for people. But I just genuinely appreciate that question. That's very lovely. So yeah. What do you play to relax? I play. Well, I had this drone going, didn't I? Let's have a look. Had a drone going, yeah. I do this kind of thing to relax. I'll do that kind of thing to relax generally and just mess around with that kind of vibe. So hopefully that answers your question. Will we see you in the Netherlands? Yes, there are 2 or 3 dates in Netherlands on tour in November. So if you check the links, you'll be able to see where we're playing. So that's cool. Got the access pass for London. Thank you very much. And hopefully you win a plugin. And you know, you're completely fine to choose any plugin from Neural DSP. But of course, if you choose Archetype Rabea, then that's a really nice thing. I'm joking. I'm definitely joking. You choose any of them. They're all sick. Obviously, I'm mega proud of mine, but you know, you have the option to choose any if you win one. And mine's not for everybody, as I've discovered. Some people think it's not good for heavy music, like high gain, genty stuff, but that wasn't what it was designed for, to be fair. In any case, I'm relaxed now, someone says. Thank you. What's my favorite video game of all time? Ooh. Has to be Bloodborne. It has to be Bloodborne. There's a lot of, like, we're talking all time, like my entire life, because the first game I'm massively connected with was Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That was insane. I had so much fun playing that. Then PlayStation came around. It was Metal Gear Solid. Absolute beast of a game. Really got into that. And Abe's Odyssey. Really, the depth of storytelling and the world building. Like, I was hooked on those games. But then we fast forward, you know, to like when I really connected with a game, not just because it looked nice and it was a cool story, but like the gameplay would have been Bloodborne. Bloodborne blew me away because it was so hard, and the gothic horror element of it really, really, really got me in the feels. I absolutely love it. I've got a Bloodborne tattoo on my leg, for God's sake. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan. Obviously, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, they're all close runners up, but Bloodborne. And I 100% have to also say, in more recent times, Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silk Song, which I'm currently playing at the minute. But Hollow Knight was, I'd never really played Metroidvania games. And then getting Hollow Knight, I was completely hooked. I think it's one of the best games I've ever played. The soundtrack is beautiful. The art style is incredible. And now Silk Song's out, and I'm currently playing through that, and it's going really well. Love it. It's awesome. I would love to start streaming some games, maybe on a separate channel or something. I'm working on trying to figure that out, but some of you guys would want to watch that because it'd be pretty funny. Do some playthroughs of different games and hang out and stuff. But I need to spec a gaming PC, I think, because I won't want to do it on PS5, I don't think, except if I was doing like a playthrough of Bloodborne or something like that. But if you think that would be fun, then yeah, come and join. Looper pedal. I think the TC, I've forgotten its name. There's a little TC electronic pedal that works pretty well. MXR do one as well. So yeah, I haven't played Helldivers. DS equals DS3, better than Elden Ring, better than Bloodborne, better than DS2. Like me, DS2 is good. Dark Souls 2 is good, but I hated it at first. And then by the end of it, I was into it. Yeah, the TC Ditto, that's the one. Yeah. Dude, you inspired me to make my own music a few months in learning home recording. Just want to say thanks, my guy. Matty, you are welcome, and I appreciate the message. Yes, this is great, guys. I'm having fun. And so far, like, can you all just let me know how the audio picture quality, like, you can hear my chat, the guitar sounds right, the level of the music and stuff sounds good, I hope. Let's see let's gain this up a bit, shall we? Let's see if we can get like a heavier tone. It's perfect in my opinion. Good. How is beer outside of music? I'm good. I guess I would say in all honesty, like, YouTube is kind of annoying me a little bit, which is why I want to live stream a bit more. I'm just kind of at a bit of a dead end with what kind of content I want to make. I always just get a bit lost with what I want to do. To be honest. I'm just making a heavy tone, if you can see. So this is interesting. So I'm told that I've run out of input rate. But what's funny is, and I don't know why it does this, but I'm not allowed to use the input gate, but I can grab a utility gate. So check this out. So I can use any of these. What's going on? I'm allowed to use that, but I can't use the input gate. Weird. Way too much reverb. Sorry guys, I hadn't turned it off from earlier. So I'm with regards to like heavy tones, I don't really like to do the the super modern thing, but let's just down to something a little bit more chuggy, eh? Gain on full. Why not? Yeah, beastly. That's how I like to describe it. I like it to be thick and aggressive as opposed to like super edgy, if you know what I mean. Perhaps you could gate mute your mic. Are you hearing string ring through it? Probably. Input gate control is disabled. Ah, yeah. Okay, let me add another gate here then. Adaptive gate. Gate. Yeah. Let's check there as well on the output. Is that better? Making it up now. I have no idea what I'm doing. What was it? That lick from Growing Pains. Do you like that? Yeah, I do like to hit the strings pretty hard. I like to do that. What else we got? How's the UK music scene these days? There's some great bands coming out. Some great bands out at the minute. Of course, good friends of ours, People, doing really well. It's great to see. I don't know. There's a lot of cool bands playing these days, and I would say it's pretty exciting time to be in a heavy band, or heavy music's really coming back in a big way, I think. Because of bands like Bring Me and Sleep Token and Architects and Bad Omens and all this stuff that are getting really big, like really big, and it incorporates the heavy music side of it, and it's opening up people that weren't necessarily into that stuff to discover more bands. So I think it's a good time to be in a heavy band, or at least rock band, or whatever you want to call it, like a more aggressive band. And we're loving it. We're having a great time personally, and we're a tiny band right now. But the way it's been growing, it's been really encouraging. It's been really fun, and we're having a great time, like having people discover us and hear our music. And we're still like writing music. In fact, I'm writing with Joe later on tonight, for the album that we're hoping to, put together. Um, so yeah, it's a great time. It's great. Great. How do you approach songwriting when you sit down to write? It changes every time. It changes every single time. Like, what I would say is that we'll come up with a riff, for example, and then from there it grows. It's different. Like when I'm writing my own stuff, when I'm writing my own music, the instrumental stuff, I would say it's completely different approach. Like when you're writing with vocals in mind, you've got to remember that there are vocals going in there, so you don't want to fill it up too much. But like, I don't know, what's a good example? I guess Satellites, like super simple, but it's got something there, and it's not too busy that you can sing over it. And I guess how do I approach moving on from there? Well, in my head, I was like, it's got a bounce to it. It's a bit of a serious sort of tonality to it. But then I thought it feels like it could be an uplifting vibe. So we had that section next. Like this big wall of sound with a big like anthemic thing. And when I would say that when you're writing for vocals, or with vocals in mind, it's a little bit easier, because verse, chorus, well, it depends on the kind of music, but in our kind of music, you know, I felt it was a bit easier to do that, because like after that you're like, all right, well, let's do another verse. And it's like the hardest bit of that song was choosing chorus chords, because there are so many different ways you could take it. And we knew that we wanted something, anthemic or like big and epic. And one of the things that Joe and I like about writing vower material is we want the chord progressions to be, there always needs to be like an emotional pull somewhere. So like the chorus chords, what would they be? So you're going. So it's like, it's simple, but I think that when you're trying to write hooks and stuff, especially like with vocals, and you want a big chorus, you don't want to overcomplicate it. And on a song like that, I felt like that was definitely necessary. And it's so simple. And you could just like, and this is, I suppose, if you want to go down into a bit more detail on like developing ideas in songwriting, it could be that all the way through. There's a chorus line. It was kind of boring, and I wanted something that had a little bit more of a major turnaround, a little bit more uplifting. So like, oh, that feels nice, that little. It's very simple, but it just adds a slight major shift to it, or something a little bit more hopeful in the sound. So yeah, it's like you find an idea that you like, a vibe that you're sitting on. You're like, yeah, this is definitely in the ballpark, vibe wise, for what I'm trying to do. And then it's a case of like messing around with it a bit, like trying different ideas on the like break your chorus into 4 phrases. Phrase 1, phrase 2, phrase 3, phrase 4, obviously. phrase 1, then mix it up a bit for phrase 2, maybe go back to phrase 1 for phrase 3, and then 2, like 1 3 2 4, if you know what I mean. That didn't make any sense. Basically, you've got like an A and a B, so you could do A B A B, or you could do A B A C, for example, and just alter things slightly. So another good example would be the riff, the verse riff. That's A. This is B, and then this is C. You know what I mean? Like it has a different thing every time, but it's all based around droning on that low note, and I think that works kind of well as an approach when you're writing songs, to try and think about it that way. That how can you mix it up a little bit? What's another good example? I guess the song that I released, was it the end of last year? Growing Pains, which are... My guitar's out of tune. These strings, man. I'll promise I'll change them. So that was like the opening vibe. And I could have done it again, but instead I changed it. What was it? So it's almost the same. It's almost the same as going, but that feels like if I did that twice, it kind of wouldn't feel quite resolved. So by going, sorry, felt like it was giving me back in, and then the same thing could be said for like the chorus part of that song. So you've got what was it? Yeah, that's it. Sorry. And then it goes off on one, but the idea being that you just mix it up a little bit each time. So yeah, what else we got? Let's go back to the questions. +1 on EverTune bridge question. Someone asked about EverTune. Don't make me talk about EverTune. So I just don't use it. It's not for me. I get the purpose, and I'm sure that loads of people find it really useful. And you know what? It would probably save my stress levels a bunch in, say, the studio and live, because everything's perfectly in tune. But I just don't really have any interest in using it, and that's nothing against it. Maybe I'll change my mind at some point. Maybe I'll try it and go, this is sick. This is all I want to use now. Because I know its engineering is really, really high quality, and people swear by it, and I see it. I see the benefit, especially the lower you tune. But one of the things that I love about playing guitar and recording guitar and gigging is, the tuning stability thing. Like if you've got a crap guitar that tuning's not going to help you, then that's one thing. But part of it is it's all encompassing. So like in the studio, I want to make sure that I'm fretting properly and not have something do the work for me. Part of the fun and the battle is tuning. As long as I've tuned and I can see and my guitar's set up properly, and I can see on the tuner that I'm in tune, then it's my fault if it goes out of tune, not the guitar, not the equipment. That's my view on it, and I like that. I like that part. Maybe it's old school, I don't know, but I just like that part of it too, especially in the studio. And generally, I haven't had to fight really with guitars to stay in tune in the studio. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but generally speaking, it hasn't been that bad for me. So, what is this? Where's my phone? Sorry. I'm not sure what happened there. My phone started kicking off. But yeah, EverTune, cool. I'm sure it's really useful for people, and I think it's probably a good thing that it exists. But I'm yet to adopt it. So yeah. Why have I suddenly got? Okay, well, my phone's just decided to crap out, and I can't see the chat. So. Have I got? Okay, I'm not really sure what's happened to my phone, but it's just crapped out. Love when that happens. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, chat. Sorry. I need to find another way of being able to monitor the chat than using my phone. Do I have IRs for sale? No, I don't. Not currently. Tuning is E flat, right? Yeah. Or I've dropped C sharped it, drop D'd it, if you know what I mean. So I'm in drop C sharp. Have any plans for vower to come to the US in the future? Yeah, we really want to come, and I think it's going to happen. I don't know when. I think it will be next year if it happens. When it happens, should I say? But we absolutely are planning to come to the US to play, and hopefully over to Australia. And this band for us is like, we want to give it the full beans, try and do it properly, try and tour all over the place. So I've toured with other bands in different territories and done all that kind of stuff, but I want to do it with this band. I want to do it with vower because really, really loving the direction of the band and the music and the people in it, of course, most importantly. And the fact that people are really into it right now and enjoying it and singing the words at the gigs, it's great, man. It's great. I'm having a great time. So yeah. No, I'm not using the Roland device for live streaming currently. At home, I'm using I got a Elgato Camlink 4K, and that's what I'm currently using right now, and it's working really well. So yeah, and I'm using OBS. Okay, my phone, just screw my phone. It's being an asshole. Where is the chat, Fred? There it is. Okay. Have you considered releasing more educational content or call you out a musicism course? Yeah. So I do want to do a new tuition course, and I'm planning on hopefully having some downtime to put it together towards the end of the year. And I'm thinking what it's going to be is combination of, well, I think I'm going to do multiple, but it'll focus starting with an idea, writing it, developing your ideas. Then, thank you very much, DNA. That's very kind. Cheers from Italy. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, so I'm thinking the course will be like, start with an idea, develop it, then build the instrumentation. So like a songwriting type thing or approach to songwriting type thing. Then there'll be a course, I suppose, on like putting it together in a DAW, whether it's using drum libraries or whatever, and then adding production elements, so like layers, like really build the song out. You know, whether it's lead music or it's writing for vocals, I think I have to specify. And then there'll be a course on like mixing it down and getting it into a position where you feel comfortable releasing it and stuff. So it's not going to be anything like crazy, like, but I definitely want to focus in on like helping people uncover the myths of like getting in a creative headspace to write a tune and not getting stuck. It's a hard thing to teach as well, because creativity, it can't be forced. It has to come naturally. But there are things I guess you could do to put yourself in a more receptive place when it comes to songwriting and that kind of thing. So I'm kind of hoping that I can put something together that really works for people. But it'll be a combination of writing ideas, putting them together into a cohesive manner with flow and connective pieces. Whether it's instrumental music for lead guitar or vocals, we'll figure that out. Then it'll be putting it into a session, adding production elements, adding layers, making it bigger and more full. And then it'll be mixing it down, making it something that sounds great as well, because that's a big part of it when you're trying to share your music with people. So I think that would be something I'd love to do. Hopefully I'll get time to do it. What else we got? What's the release date for the Sterling Music Man Sabres? Answered this earlier, but it's October, mid-October sometime. Oh, right. What else we got? How long have I been on this chat for? An hour. I would like to say that this has been a good test stream. It works, which I'm glad about. It's working really well. So I'm happy. And the cool thing is that I've also got like different windows for different things. So, you know, like eventually when we do more of this, guys, because I'd like to do this a little bit more, I've got this window, I've got YouTube, so we can, you know, we can look at some videos and react to different things that you guys recommend. Then I've got the same thing, but like, you know, what's happened there? Yeah, same thing, but big and little, and same thing again. And then I've got this would be where my plugin would go, but I don't have the plugin open right now, so when we're doing plugin stuff. And I guess I'll show you all something cool. Nelly, check this out. Nell, Croshies. Let me grab my dog. Nelly. This is Nelly. This is Nelly. She's a Springer Spaniel Patterdale Terrier cross, and she's hyper alert, full of energy. But she's 6 now, and she's very cute, aren't you, Crosh? She's got 1,000,001 nicknames. Nelly is her main name. Nelson is another name that we use for her. Krelshi is another one. Krelsius, Shrelshi, Shrelsius. There are many. I'm not going to sit here and go through them all, but we just come out with random ones all the time, don't we? Shrelshi, go. Shrelshi, go. All right, go on. Yeah. Anyway, that's my dog. Thought that, you know, I'd show you my pooch. She's not one to chill up here. She likes to be alert and keep guard at the back door in the garden. Trying to get her to stay in here doesn't happen. Her ears are always perked, and she's got to go and check out what's going on. Anyway, what was it? Oh, and she's not a puppy. She's 6 years old. But yes. Are you using USB QC? Are you using QC USB out? No, I'm not. I'm using my Universal Audio Arrow, which is a bus powered, as in Thunderbolt 3, I think, or Thunderbolt 4, into my computer, and that's what's. I've always done it that way. I do use QC as an interface from time to time, but at home, this is how I like to do it, because then I can use unison preamps and stuff, and I can sum things if I need to, and all the rest of it. So I treat Quad Cortex as like a pedal board situation. So yeah. Anyway, what's the camera setup? So this is my old A7S II that I thought I'd broken. It wasn't formatting cards, but now it's formatting cards. But the battery life is crap. So, because I've got an A7 S3, I use the FX3, and I have an old A7 III that I use for the studio. So I brought this one home with me, and I've got it hooked up to a power supply. The battery doesn't last forever, but yeah, basically that's what I'm using at home. So at least it's, you know, decent quality, and I can stream at night as well because it's got great low light capability. And I'm using a wide angle lens as well, so I can be. Although I say that this is off a micro four thirds sensor, which is why it's vignetting, as you can see. But yeah, it's good enough for home. So that's the current rig, and it's working really well. It's taken me a couple of days to get it sorted, and then it's always that thing where you go through trying to prepare everything, and then you're like, finally, I think I'm just going to crack on and see what it sounds like, see how it works. But everybody's saying it looks and sounds great, so. Let's have a look. Let's just do a little bit more. Get a bit more of this, a bit more of that. Oop. I've already said it once before, but these strings are so dead and sticky and horrible, because I was going to restring, but I was like, no, I just want to test stream. So I'm going to restring it next time, maybe even on stream. That might be quite boring, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here because it's been on for an hour and 20 minutes. But I just want to say thank you for coming and joining me on this stream, on this test stream. I'm going to be doing this a lot more from home because I think this is fun to engage with everybody, hang out. And I think the idea, the way I've set it up is that we can build tones. I could take requests and try and mimic a tone. So I'll bring a guitar that works in a few different tunings because this one's in C sharp, but I'll bring a baritone as well, whatever. And we'll mess around. Obviously I've got it set up so I can stream tunes as well off Spotify. We can jam to those. We can, you know, check out YouTube videos and react to all that stuff and discuss things. And I just kind of want to hang out and connect with everybody on my YouTube channel a bit more because I think that's really fun to do. And I hope you guys are into that idea. And I also am toying with the idea of streaming games because I play games in my own time. And I thought it might be quite fun to stream some games. So if you think that's a good idea, then maybe I can look at doing that as well. But for now, we're going to stream semi-regularly, maybe 1-2 times a week or something like that. I'll try and make it a little bit more of a normal time, maybe in the evening here in the UK, so everyone can hang out for a bit. And yeah, I think it'd be really fun to geek out, talk about stuff, discuss things, play guitar, jam along to stuff, build tones, share knowledge, and just hang out. So yeah. Anywho, thank you all. I hope you have a wonderful day, and this is time to say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Love you all. Keep your eyes out for the next stream. Peace.